Before the world was measured by science, it was ruled by an oath whispered in secret chambers, carved in stone, and sworn by souls who believed that numbers themselves were divine. They called it the Oath of the Tetractys, the vow to see the universe not as chaos, but as sacred order. To break this oath was to fall back into ignorance. To keep it was to awaken the mind of the gods. The word tetractys means the fourfold. To outsiders, it was just a number, 4 points forming a triangle. But to the initiates of Pythagoras, it was the skeleton of reality. They saw 4 everywhere, in the seasons, in the directions, in the elements, earth, water, air, and fire. To them, these were not just materials. They were cosmic powers, each one a language spoken by nature itself. The Pythagoreans believed that whoever could understand these 4 roots could read the code of the universe, but their oath went deeper. They swore to see beyond division, to recognize the hidden unity behind the many faces of creation. That unity was the divine mind, the one behind the 4. They said, well, yes, by the one who gave our soul the tetractys, root of eternal nature. To the modern ear, it sounds poetic, but to them, it was as sacred as scripture. This was the mathematics of the soul. The tetractys wasn't drawn for decoration. It was lived. Imagine a pyramid made of 10 points, 1 at the top, then 2, then 3, then 4. 10 total. Each row symbolized a stage of reality, spirit descending into matter. The top point was pure unity, the divine spark. The bottom 4 were the elements, the visible world. Everything in between was vibration, motion between the infinite and the finite. To recite the oath was to remind the soul of its geometry. Every initiate learned to see the pattern in storms, in music, in the pulse of their own breath. Even the human body mirrored the tetractys. 4 limbs, 4 directions, 4 vital fluids, 4 stages of life. They believed that when man forgets this pattern, he falls into confusion, his mind fractures, and he becomes a stranger in his own world. But when he remembers, he re-enters the harmony of the cosmos. Today, we treat numbers as tools, means to count or calculate. But for the ancients, numbers created. To name a number was to name a law of existence. 4 was not quantity, it was balance. It represented stability, manifestation, and the bridge between the unseen and the visible. The number 1 was the seed, 2, its reflection, 3, the union of opposites, 4, the birth of the world. Together they formed the sacred 10, the totality of creation. That's why they said the oath was both outer and inner. Outwardly, it described the structure of nature. Inwardly, it demanded that man reflect that same order within himself. Because you cannot rule a chaotic mind inside an ordered universe. In the secret schools, the oath was used as a map of the psyche. Each element represented not only matter, but a part of human nature. Earth, the body, stability, discipline. Water, emotion, adaptability, purification. Air, intellect, imagination, speech. Fire, willpower, passion, illumination. To balance these 4 was to create a philosopher, not the academic kind, but the ancient meaning of the word, a lover of wisdom who becomes wisdom itself. And so they taught that every soul must pass through 4 gates, from the density of earth to the flow of water, from the breath of air to the flame of the divine. To fail one gate meant repeating the cycle until harmony was achieved. The oath warned of one enemy, ignorance, not the kind that lacks data, but the blindness that refuses to see unity. Ignorance was darkness, knowledge, light. Every human carried both, and the oath was the bridge between them. The philosopher who broke the oath did not fall into punishment, he fell into forgetfulness. His world became fragmented. He saw opposition where there was complement. He mistook the elements for enemies rather than instruments. To regain light, he had to repeat the sacred geometry within. To think in circles, not lines. In harmony, not division. The ancients believed that all civilization rested on this vow. Every city, every law, every temple was built as an echo of cosmic order. Without the knowledge of the 4 elements, they said, The miracle of the Hellenic spirit cannot be understood. To them, ignorance was not only personal, it was cultural decay. When man forgets his elemental harmony, his cities collapse. When he remembers, the world becomes music again. Thus, the oath of the Tetractys was not a relic. It was the foundation stone of Western thought. From it came geometry, medicine, politics, and philosophy itself. Because behind every form of order lies one principle: nothing exists in isolation. The final line of the oath declared that whoever understands the four roots of nature has glimpsed the eternal flame. That flame was not in heaven. It burned inside the human spirit. Each number, each element, each symbol was a mirror showing man what he truly is. Not a creature of flesh, but a pattern of light condensed into matter. And so the student swore the oath not to please the gods, but to remember that he was made of the same essence as them. The oath was not submission, it was awakening. They said that whoever truly understood the oath broke the mental chain and was freed from the darkness of ignorance. For the ignorant, life was random. For the awakened, every movement was part of a hidden design. The Tetractys taught them to think like nature, to act with proportion, to live with symmetry, to speak with harmony. To break the chain was to see through illusion, to realize that even chaos dances to an unseen rhythm. That rhythm was the divine mind, the Logos, later echoed by Plato, Heraclitus, and even the Stoics. When you look at the great minds of Greece, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they all carried fragments of this vow. Socrates called it the art of remembering. Plato turned it into the doctrine of forms. Aristotle called it the four causes of being. Each, in their own language, was translating the oath of the Tetractys into the vocabulary of reason. But the essence remained. Reality is not random. It is geometric. It is sacred. And the key lies not outside, but inside the mind that perceives it. Imagine for a moment that the ancients were right, that your life, your thoughts, your body, your emotions, all of it is built on a divine proportion, that your soul itself is a Tetractys, descending into matter only to climb back into light. The oath still whispers across time, waiting for those who can hear it. It asks you not to believe, but to remember. To remember that every shadow hides a pattern, and every element in you is a doorway back to the source. So when you breathe, you are echoing the air. When you love, you are burning with fire. When you endure, you are grounded in earth. And when you feel, you are flowing with water. Together, these make you human. But when you see the unity behind them, you become something greater. Not a worshiper of gods, but a builder of worlds. That was the meaning of the ancient oath.